Welcome to Fitzy's Fabulous Scrapbooks. I'm Michelle Fitzgerald, aka Fitzy, and I'm an independent advisor for Creative Memories Scrapbooking, and I'm here to help you make your scrapbooks fabulous. So let's get started. Today, we're going to be talking about, I'm going to go down to my little workspace here, tearaway sheets that come in those designer packs. Now, they don't come in every pack that we sell or that we use, but when they do come, it's always nice to know what to do with them. And this is a great sheet. This is from Serene Waters. And why I love this is because they're 12 inches long and they're 2 inches wide each. So they're the size, perfect size to make a border. So we're going to make borders today. And I've already, just to save time, cut these out like so. These are the 6 strips that were just in that sheet. Okay. And I'm going to make 5 borders out of these 6 strips. These 2 I'm going to combine to make 1 border. All right. And I think these are all pretty simple to make. I did do some things ahead of time just so the video won't be super, super long. So let me show you all of the borders and then we'll go back and make them. So these are my borders. Now, when I first saw this strip, I instantly thought of a bathtub page, right? Because these just look like little soap bubbles to me. They could be water bubbles, and I'm sure maybe that's what they were because they came from Serene Waters. But this just yelled bath time layout to me. So I went with the little duckies and made it into a bath time border. All right. Then I have my little sandcastle border. I have my sunset border. I have my by the lake border. And then we have our little fishy border. All right. So they're each different. You can use them for all different things. And I think some of them could be a little versatile too. But let me show you. I mean, it's easy. The nice thing too is I'm just going to work on one at a time. And we'll start with this guide. But the nice thing is each designer pack, when they come with a tearaway sheet, they come with two of them. So you could make, when you're making borders, you can make a set of 2. And then that way you can have it go across a whole 2-page spread. And I think a lot of people like to create 2-page spreads. If I had to guess, and, let me know in the comments, do you prefer to make a 2-page spread or a 1-page spread? On occasion, I will make a 1-page spread because sometimes that's what my photos call for. But on a regular basis, I love making 2-page spreads. And I'm going to say the majority of people do, but it'll be interesting to see what everybody says. So I hope you'll put that in the comments for me. All right. So I'm going to take this border first. And I'm going to take my repositionable tape runner, and I already punched out my little duckies. Now, everything I'm using is from the Serene Waters paper pack, except for this piece of black cardstock, which will be my little sailboats on my sunset border. All right, I'm going to push these to the side too, just to get that out of the way. And move over here. For some reason, I like to work on this side. All right, so now I'm also using the embellishments, the laser cut borders, and the sticker pack, all from Serene Waters. All right, so what I'm going to do here is go into the sticker pack because I know I used this title sticker, and I'm going to use some of these little bubbles too. And if you have any foam squares, I highly recommend that you take them out because I used a lot of foam squares on these borders. All right. So here we go. I may not complete each border, but I'm just going to give you the basic idea so you can complete them yourself because they are super easy. All right, so I did punch my duckies in a different direction, but that's okay. I think that'll actually work well as a 2-page spread. All right. Now, this little circle that I made to back my title sticker here, I made with this piece of paper from Serene Waters. And if you noticed what I did when I punched, the first one I punched with the color I want to see facing me. So I punched this one with the yellow facing up. And then I punched these two with the blue side facing up. And that's how I got them to be in different directions. All right. So if you want them all in the same direction, cut them all, punch them all out on the same side, color side. But if you want to vary the direction, just flip your paper over and punch. So if I wanted to do one more yellow and I want them to go this way, because I already have two going that way, I'm going to punch with the yellow facing up because I want them to be yellow. And there you go. All right. Now, if I put him over here, he won't fit. But if I put him over here, he will. Oops, right there. Okay. And that's what I did with these guys here. All right. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew how to do that. Oops. Okay. So I used this little title embellishment from the embellishment pack. And, oh, I was going to show you what I did for the circle. So I took the middle-sized circle, and with the inside groove, I believe I used the blue blade. So let me put this up here and make sure that I'm good. Oopsie, I didn't have my blade in right. That's what happens. Always make sure that you have your two little pegs in the groove when you're using the custom cutting system. So, and what I mean, see these two blue pegs? They go in the groove. Here, I'll put it upside down. And that's what makes the blade move and keeps it on track. This yellow part here is actually what holds the blade. The blade is at the very tippy top. You can maybe see it right there. It's really small, but it does a great job cutting. But you just want to make sure that you have the grooves in, the pegs in the groove. All right. So we're done with that. And here's our little backing. And then what I did with the title sticker is I popped it up on foam squares to give it a little bit of interest. All right. So this is the sticker I used here. It says, "All my troubles wash away in the water." Okay. And then everything else, oh, I used some of these little bubble stickers. I had a lot of fun with the bubbles, I have to tell you. They're just so cute. I suppose they're water, but they could be water bubbles or soap bubbles. They could really go either way. And I popped each one up on foam squares just to have it pop out from the paper a little bit. And I think that really had a nice effect. I'm going to hold this up so you can see. Isn't that fun? All right. So that's border number one. Pretty simple. All right, I'm going to put these to the side. And then we're going to go on to, I think we should do our sunset. So let me get this here. And let's bring out that nice little sunset. And I'm just going to put it on this paper here just so you can see how it looks. Isn't that cool? I just love this one. All right, so what I did for that, I'm going to take a scrap of black cardstock. And I'm just going to move all this out of the way. I'm going to be moving things back and forth. I can see that. Now, I used the Rolling Sales Border Maker cartridge from the Border Maker system. And I'm going to put my paper into the paper guide. And I'm going to slide it all the way to the edge of this tray here. And once I slide it all the way to the edge, I'm going to flip that tray back and lock it in place. All right. And now I'm just going to go along and punch away. Now, if you're not sure how to use the Border Maker system, if you've never seen it used before, I'm going to link my video on how to use the Border Maker system to this video. So feel free to go and watch that. I think you might find it helpful if you've never used it before. All right, let me get these little scraps out of the way and we will keep on going. So now what I did is I took my decorative trimmer and see how I have these little scallopy, wavy kind of look on the bottom there. Well, I got that using the decorative trimmer. So what I'm going to do, let me line this up and then I'm going to show you. I'll hold it up close to, just want to get it at the right spot. Where's that? Oh, right there. I think that's good. So you may have a hard time seeing this. What I want to do, so with the decorative trimmer, we have two options. We can use the swell, or we can use what I like to call the scallop look. Okay, now I want to use the scallops. So this is the blade that I'm going to be using for that right here. This blade works for my swell. All right, now what I also want to do, oops, I think I had this, had it upside down. All right, that's better. So now I can do this. Now, what I'm looking at, maybe I'll do this before I put the paper in, just so you can see it better. Stand up so I can see it too. I'm looking at these numbers right here. So they're these little itty bitty numbers. And see this number 3? I actually lined my paper up to this line right here, which is just below that little number 3. All right. So what I'm going to do, put it up here so you can see it, because it is a little tricky if you're not sure. And I'm lining the edge of the paper. So let's see, there's my number 3. So I'm putting the very edge. So it's not the sail, the top part, it's just this, the end piece right here is on that line. Okay. And now I'm going to come back down here and make sure it's pretty much in the same spot down here. And it looks good. I think that needs to come back a little bit. And now I'm going to lock in and cut. All right. That's probably the trickiest part of anything I'm creating here today. All right, so then you're just going to take your tape runner. I'm going to make sure you can see it. And I'm just going to put it at the very edge, and I'm going to cover the bottom. So none of the little blue piece there pops out. All right. And the way it goes, if you can see it, it's almost like the sun is in between these two middle boats, just a little bit off to the side. So I think that works really well. All right. And then what I did is I took this sticker of the sailboat. And then I took this sticker here that says roam far and wander wide. And I took this little bird is actually an embellishment from the embellishment pack. And I put all of these on foam squares. So I popped the bird, my little title, and my sailboat on foam squares. All right. So that's border number 2. All right. We're going quickly here. This is good. Now, my next border is, let's pull this out. I just love this. This just feels so beachy to me. All right. So I used this border from the tearaway sheet and I have it upside down. So let's fix that. Now, what I did here is I took my sandcastle border maker cartridge and I punched 2 borders. One, I used this vellum paper that came with the Serene Waters vellum paper pack. And these papers are beautiful. I love this one because it's got a sandy kind of color to it for the pattern. And I thought it would just take a little bit of the harshness away from this yellow because I didn't want my sandcastles to be really bright, but I love how it looks underneath the vellum. It really works. So I'm going to punch sandcastle on the vellum. And then I'm going to punch the sandcastles on my yellow paper here. All right, so I've got that. And I'm going to do the same thing with my beautiful yellow. All right. Let me just hold this up so you can see. Isn't that pretty? And I just offset it just a little bit, just to let some of that yellow show through, but not so much that it's real harsh. So I don't know. I just love that look. All right. So let me get the border maker system out of here and clean up these little scraps. And we'll go a little further. I hope you guys are enjoying this. It's fun. I had a lot of fun making these borders. And my favorite part, of course, is the embellishing, which those who know me know that I love my embellishments. All right, so what I'm going to do, let me show you on the yellow first, because that shows up better. I'm going to line my little flags up to the 1.5 inch mark, and that's where I'm going to cut. So 1.5 inches. Take your time, and it's the tallest flag because some of them are a little shorter, but we want the tall flags at 1.5 inches, and then you can cut. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing with the vellum paper. And it's a little trickier to see because it's a lighter color. It blends in with the trimmer just a little bit, so just keep an eye on it. And you know, if it's a little off, I will tell you no one's going to notice, so it's okay. All right, so I'm going to put those to the side. And now I have this really cool 2 little strips. And now what I find works well with the vellum is the vellum tape runner. CM does have vellum tape runner. Now, I also want to caution you, a little goes a long way with this, because the less you use, the less you have to worry about, oops, can't see me doing this right, how much it will show. But typically it doesn't show up too much. And then on the tips of my flags, I did put a little bit of repositionable because they're so small, nobody's going to even see it. And I'm still looking at this one and I cannot see the dots on that one. So I think it worked well. So now I'm just going, whoops. And again, I just want to offset it a little bit, just to give it that little yellow shadow, I guess you'd call it. All right. And all that repo that's extra just rubs away. I love that. And now if you look, let's see how far. So I have about 1/4 of an inch of the blue showing on the bottom. So when you go to attach this, you're going to have about 1/4 of an inch of the blue showing on the back. All right. The blue is the back of the yellow paper that I punched the sandcastles with. All right. So my best advice is to put your tape runner on the top of your border. And maybe just run a little more down here. But the bottom part is not even going to be on the border. So you don't want to put tape runner or adhesive. And I did try to use the little birdies on here as a guide. I tried not to cover them. I think I ended up covering a few, but for the most part, they were not covered. All right. So now we have that. Then I went to, there's so many pretty borders in this border, laser cut border pack. But I used this ocean wave one down here. So now you've got the pretty sky, the sand, and the sea. And then I used, I believe that might have been a sticker. Yep. I used this sticker that says on the beach. And I used these 3 little snails. So this one here, and this one here. And where's that other little one? It's a lighter color. Oh, and this one right here. So these two, actually, not that one. I used these 2 and this one up here. And I bumped all of these out on foam squares. All right. And let me hold this up so you can see it a little better. So cute. Perfect little beach layout. All right. So we're going to move on to our next one. I hope you guys are having fun with this. I love my borders. Okay, so my next one is this one here. And this one was actually really simple. So I'm going to go back to my borders. And these are the 2 that I used. So this one has blue on the back and this little sandy tone on the front. And then this is lily pads. And I just love this border. I just think it's adorable. All right, so what I'm going to do is when you put your tape runner on this, you only want to put it on one edge because part of it's going to hang off of the border again. All right. And so the edge that you put it on is the edge that's going to attach to our border piece. So this one goes really quickly. Hopefully that's straight. I can't really tell. I can't see it very well, but that's okay. And now I'm gonna put my little lily pads on top of it. And if some of the brown from this border shows through, it's okay. It just kind of adds a little color. I think I went too far off the edge there. Let me just pull this back. There we go. The idea was to not have any of the blue of this border poking through here. All right. So there we go there. And then the rest of it is just embellishing. So I used this frog on his lily pads over here. And I used, let's see, this little dragonfly right here. And where's my other sheet? Oh, there it is. Underneath. And I used these two little dragonflies here. And then I used this title sticker, which says, "Nature is the greatest place to heal and recharge." And I used these two flowers, this one and this one. And I put them down back and I had this one overlap that one just to give it a little interest. I put the title on top of it, and then I have my little dragonflies and the lily pad. The froggy on the lily pad are all on foam squares. And then this little piece here came out of the embellishment pack. All right. So that sign that says "By the Lake" came out of here. All right. And I think we're down to our last border. So let me move these out of the way. And we'll bring these in. And let's see this one. So this one's a little more complicated, but not tough. So what I did here, since I knew I wanted this to kind of be the frame, I took this piece and I put it right at the 1/4 inch mark. And I don't know if you can see this very well. I'm going to try to show you. This little groove here has been my guide to figure out where 1/4 inch is. So I line my paper up so it just comes to the edge but doesn't go over. Okay. So, and that gets you a 1/4 inch cut. And then when I'm using a strip that's not too wide, I just take my scissors, and when I put my bar down, right before it gets to the end, I put my scissors there to hold that paper in place. And that does a really good job. All right. So I've cut that 1/4 inch off, and now I'm going to go over and cut a 1/4 inch off of the end. Just like that. And now look, it makes a nice little frame, right? Perfect. So that part is done. And then, where is that border pack again? I think it's over here. Oh, here it is. Now, I really hemmed and hawed over which side to use on this. I loved this side, but then I loved this side. So it really depends on the look you want. But I ended up going with this side. And what you need to do, because I just wanted this to stay on the blue, you need to cut a 1/4 inch off the bottom. And I wouldn't recommend cutting it off the top. I think it looks better cutting it from the bottom. So you're just going to cut that 1/4 inch off, and then it'll just go flush to the end of the blue. Okay. And then what I did is I took my Friendly Fish border punch and I punched out a couple of different full-length borders. And then I fussy cut a few of them out. So here are my little fussy cut ones. And this orange one, I cut in the, what I did to get this is cool. So these two pieces here are the same piece of paper, okay? 2 orange, 2 blue. Actually, it might be better if I show you what I have left. All right, so I wanted the orange and the blue to be facing in the same direction, and I did accomplish that. So you have to punch with the orange side facing up, and then turn your paper over and punch with the blue side facing up. So that way you could get both colors going in the same direction, okay? And then what I did is I put foam squares on my blue and then attached the orange to it. So the orange ones really kind of pop out, right? You can really notice them. So that was fun. And then what I did is I took from the embellishment pack, I took this little piece here to back my sticker title, which is this one here. And it says, "The water is full of untamed magic." And then I also took this fish sticker and these 2 fish stickers. And then these little enamel fishies came from the embellishment pack. Let's see if I can take these out. There we go. So they came from here. There you go. You can see those better now. All right. And then if you notice, I just try to keep things in odd numbers. So I have my 3 fish here, 3 enameled fish here, 3 enameled fish here. My title is kind of going over my first little fussy cut fish. And then I have 2 more sets of the fussy cut fish. And there they are. 5 borders from 6 strips from that tearaway paper piece. I love them. So let me get these borders all out again for you. And I'm going to finish these borders because these are going to be my, going to help me make my 2-page spreads, which I love. All right. And let me just move a few things around here so I know I have space and bring these borders back to be seen. So here's one. And here's 2. Oh, and I was going to show you something I thought of after, which I was bummed I thought of it after, but I'm going to play around with it. I cut another piece of vellum from one of the other vellum pieces in that pack. And I was thinking, how cool would that be? Like, it kind of gives the effect that the fish are underwater. So when I finish this one, I might try the vellum on it. And I think what I would do is just cut the ends off so everything stays under the vellum and just see how that looks. But isn't that a cool effect? It kind of feels like they're underwater, right? So I wish I had thought of that before I finished it, but I'll try it on the other one. I wonder if we can play around with it. Well, let me get the others out first and I'll show you. And I think this is the last one here. Yep. So 5 borders. All right. And I think that was pretty simple. I think I kept them pretty, you know, they're simple, but they're effective, I think. I think these will make beautiful pages, and I'm hoping you guys all like them. All right. So don't be afraid of the tearaway sheets and play around with your vellum. I'm going to go play with this now and see how that looks, but doesn't that look cool? Everything underneath it. I just think that's going to be such a fun little border. I might come back, like I said, and trim off anything that isn't under the vellum. And I think that will look pretty cool, right? It'll give that more underwater effect. So fun. All right. So one other thing I want to mention is don't forget we have a promo starting tomorrow. Free shipping. Yay. All right. Just getting back to me here. Yeah, so tomorrow we have free shipping and beautiful new fall product coming out. We have all the Croptoberfest stuff coming out. So that whole collection, the theme this year is Let's Go Nuts. I think that's a fun theme. And our Croptoberfest event is the weekend of October 15th. It's that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we hope maybe somebody will want to join us. I already have a couple of YouTubers that have decided to go to Croptoberfest, so we'd love to have a few more. The more, the merrier. And you can find out all the information by joining my Facebook group. It is a free group, and I think you could see it listed at the top of my screen. I can go back to my workspace in a minute so you can see it, but it's called FRQ Glitz Girls Scrapbooking Group. We're a free group of scrappers. We have a lot of fun. We share ideas. We share a few laughs, and everybody gets information about what we're doing, whether it's a class. We just had a card class last week, and a card kit class where we all got the kit and we put it together. And that's always fun. So the free shipping promotion goes on from tomorrow through September 9th. So you have a few days, but I wouldn't wait too long for the Croptoberfest project recipes or whatever you like for the Croptoberfest line, because that stuff will go quickly. It always does. All right. I think that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. And if there's anything you have questions on, please feel free to reach out to me at fitzy'sfabulousScrapbooks@gmail.com. As always, if there's product you're looking for, by all means, go to my website. If you don't already have a fabulous advisor, my website is www.creativememorys.com/user/Michelle Fitz. And I hope if you like this video, you will hit the like button. And if you're not already a subscriber, I would love to have you hit that subscribe button. So please do. And if you like what I'm doing and you'd like to do it yourself and you'd like to jump on board with my team, I'd love to have you. So let's talk. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to answer them for you. It's a great, great thing to do. I've met so many wonderful people, and it's a great way to bring a little extra money into the household. That's never a bad thing. All right. So that's all I have. I am here every week on Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. I hope everyone is staying cool. And I hope, I think everybody needs rain too. We just got a little bit of rain, but if you're in need of rain, we're hoping you get it. All right. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.